God, not as if they were just a coaching football
Well
team.
said from the big mountain Wildcat. Pittsburgh was a lowly 2 of 13 on third down, yet won the game. Both teams only combined for 21 first downs, but did combine for 18 penalties for over 200 yards.
Just as many penalties as first
The
downs
Bengals
almost,
had 4 turnovers. The Steelers had 2. Seemed like the difference in the game.
But, like I said, that's a historic game. That's a game that everybody wants to see every year. They knew coming into this game it was going to be the way it was going to be.
Right.
They should have had a little bit more control of their players, and you get a win.
Meltdown.
The Bengals would have got their first win in a long time in the playoffs
They
if
were
they
down
just
15-0. They come back to lead 16-15.
just control
and
your
all those
emotions,
things
guys.
we talked about lost them the game.
That's it.
Unbelievable. Well, we had another game talking about that Seattle on the road at Minnesota. It was outside in that really cold weather.
There's another game
One
I
of the
couldn't believe.
the third coldest game in NFL history. But it looked like
Really?
both teams were really on the same page in that game. It didn't really seem like the weather was that much
It didn't
of a
look like
factor.
the weather was affecting the flight of the ball all that
Absolutely
much.
not.
So
Yeah,
it looked to me like they was having a
It
regular
didn't look
football
as
game.
rough as that San Diego-Cincinnati game in 1982. Didn't look as rough as that Green Bay-Dallas game in 1967.
No, not even close.
Seattle survived after a hook chip shot field goal, which we talked about earlier, Tim, and advanced to the divisional round. Minnesota had a 9-0 lead going into that fourth quarter, and a busted play on first down, completed for a first down, led to an early fourth quarter touchdown to put Seattle within 2 points at 9-7. And Adrian Peterson fumbled the ball on the next drive.
Adrian
oh my
Peterson
God.
fumbled the ball.
He was doing so well
come
at that
on.
point. I mean, baby doll, you seen him in the beginning of that game. He wasn't doing great because at some point you were like, yeah, change that game plan.
I mean,
I
but
did say that, and
but-
I was like, man, if only they were in that new stadium, things
Yeah.
would be a
right.
lot
But
different.
they stuck with him, though.
But do you think in a million years that Adrian Peterson would have fumbled the football? I never thought that was going to happen.
Well, he is.
I've seen it happen before.
He
Right,
is the
he's-
second leading fumbler in his time, and since he's been in the league, he's the second leading
But
ball
he just-
loser.
Right.
So,
He does so
but in a
well
big
that
game,
we
you wouldn't think
overlook
that.
that.
Right, in big games, he's a different person in big games. I forget what year it was when he was going for the record for your boy's record.
Right.
I mean, in big spotlight games, he's usually great.
Yeah,
not just good, he's
so,
usually great.
so therefore, you
know?
wouldn't expect that. Well,
No.
that fumble set up a field goal for Seattle to take the lead 10-9 late in the fourth quarter. Seattle didn't play bad, but they didn't do anything up until this point. And the Vikings got the ball with 1:42 left in the game, and aided by a pass interference call by Cam Chancellor.
Yeah.
And then that 24-yard gain by your boy, the tight end, what's his name, Kyle Rudolph, who's a Pro Bowl MVP 2 years ago, got him down to the 18-yard line deep in Seattle territory. And then he gave the ball to AP 3 times. You would think that maybe he would have got a first down, got him a little closer.
That's it. Out of
But he
3
couldn't get the
shots,
first down.
and
It's
that's
like
what
a
everybody.
yard short.
If they would have passed the ball, you would have heard everybody saying, "Oh, how come you're not giving the ball to
why you
Adrian
not giving it to
Peterson
AP?
enough?"
Yeah.
So what we do is we give the ball to
Keep it in the hash marks,
Keep
right.
it in the hash marks. I mean, come on.
He came up a yard short, and he mentioned after the game that he felt like he lost the game with that fumble and that not getting first down.
Are we seeing the demise of Adrian Peterson a little bit here?
Well, I don't know if that game heralds that,
And
but
hopefully he'll shake it off for the next season coming up.
So-
I don't want to have another Colston on my hands.
Right, so let me ask both of y'all a question.
Yes,
So,
I want the
are
Saints to
we-
get Adrian Peterson.
Are we seeing Adrian Peterson having his
with his amount of carries, I would say statistically maybe, but it's what I'm looking at. No, hell no.
No, you don't
That
think so?
dude led the league in NFL rushing this year. Bro.
I still think he's the best of the best.
For somebody to come back from a ACL or whatever knee injury he had,
two torn ACLs.
as quick as he did, he's better than Daniel Thomas. That's for sure.
The guy came back from 2 injuries that should have ended anyone's career.
Well, that field goal attempt, we talked about it in detail, so there's enough said about that. It was wide left. I mean, whatever.
Man, now that field goal right there, you don't miss.
Yeah.
If
Chip
as much
shot,
as,
no doubt. To win the game, to advance to the NFL playoffs over the Seahawks. Two-time NFC
I have to agree with
defending
Baby Doll
champions.
earlier. It really should, on a chip shot, it shouldn't matter where the strings
They were kind of like partying on the sideline.
Right?
For a minute.
Man, they showed you a point of view of one of the fans up in the stands, and he's freaking out. He's
we got this.
He kicks the field goal. Even after he kicked the field goal, the guy's still freaking out. We won, and the guy says no, he missed it.
I heard Scott Norwood after the Super Bowl when Scott Norwood missed the rod right. He tried to commit suicide, but he missed that wide right too. Anyway, Andrew, tell me a little bit about what you thought about how this game went, and did it go the way you thought it was going to go?
Well, obviously you couldn't predict the ending. Whatever God the Seahawks are praying to, They better send him a fruit
That
basket.
I think that same God is
And a fruitcake.
that's the same God that took the Super Bowl away from him last year. He figured, all right, you know what? I'm gonna give it back to y'all. I kind of screwed y'all last year with that play in the end zone last second of the game. I'm gonna give y'all that one back. All right.
Exactly.
Talk to me about Russell Wilson and the Seattle offense, about how they weren't there in the beginning, but they came on in the fourth quarter.
They come on in the fourth quarter. Yeah, like you said, they just did not start well at all. You wonder.
Well, I just think that they're not. Seattle's not all the way in sync yet because they're missing Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is really
Who made me
an
back today?
important piece of the puzzle at Seattle. And when they don't have Marshawn, they're kind of like playing with a team without an identity when they don't have Marshawn Lynch on the sidelines, with, you know, or not on the sidelines, but in the game with, you know.
Well, thank you, Marquette. I appreciate that. Thank you, Baby Doll, for chiming in on that Seattle versus Minnesota. Thank you, Andrew. We had another game, which we all thought was going to be a little better than it was, and it wasn't that bad. It was Green Bay 35, Washington 18. After a slow start, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers overwhelmed the Redskins. After a safety, a field goal, and a touchdown, Washington led 11-0 before Green Bay finally got rolling to go up 17-11 at the half. The Skins got an opening drive touchdown to start the third quarter to go up 18-17, but Rodgers, who was 21 out of 36 with 2 touchdowns.
Rodgers was being Rodgers.
He used Daddy Lacy and James Starks, who combined for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins sacked 6 times. The Skins were held to 84 yards rushing. Marquette, you were surprised that when
I was super
on the road? Where,
I'm super surprised because they such a, you know what? The Green Bay Packers are the New Orleans Saints. The closest analogy to the New Orleans Saints is the Green Bay. Because 1 week they on and they great and they look like the greatest team in Green Bay. They look like the greatest team in the NFL. And then the next week they fall apart and look like the worst team in the NFL.
Baby,
so that's the New Orleans Saints.
That's your jam right there, baby. You crank it up.
Put on some more Iron Maiden.
Oh my God, what is that? K-pop, J-pop? What's going on over there, baby?
Right. Put on some Iron Maiden.
Anyway, Baby Doll's rocking the playlist on Fox over here. Andrew, you watched this game. Aaron Rodgers going against Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins awesome at home. Did you think this was going to end this way, or did you pretty much thought it went the way it was supposed to go?
I felt like the Green Bay was going to win. Kirk Cousins looked great during the regular season.
Right. Let me ask you. Did you like that? Did you like that?
Yeah.
You like that?
You like that?
You like that?
Yeah, well, Green Bay liked it because they came out on top. Well, Baby Doll, I appreciate you hanging out with us. What you thought about that game, Baby Doll? I mean, you watched the Redskins go up 18-17 in the third quarter. Did you expect Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers to dominate the second half like they did?
I mean, their receivers can't get open on Green Bay, so
That's true.
been a constant problem with them, so it wasn't really, whenever they win, it's a surprise. Whenever they lose, it's a surprise. They're not consistent.
Right. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to happen. Of course, you see, Aaron Rodgers, so you don't expect him to come out and pull off a miracle, but
yeah, I mean, and he started the game. He started the game getting sacked in the end zone.
Right.
Right.
I mean, if that offensive line doesn't give him some help this weekend, he's gonna have a tough time.
Which we're gonna talk about because since we've reviewed all of the games last week,
he's gonna have a hard time this week if they don't block for him. He's gonna wind up being on his ass for some more than him.
And that's ass with 2 S's, right?
With 3 S's.
Hey, Matt Marquette, how you did against the spread last week?
Man, I went 4-0 last week.
I mean, I believe you.
Went 4-0 last week.
I was undefeated. Baby Doll was 2-2.
My main pick last week was Kansas City, and not only did I pick the game, I picked the blowout. So I did great last week. Right now, I'm 11-2 on my lock right now.
So there was no surprises in these games.
Last week went exactly the way not just me, but I think last week went the same way everybody thought it was going to go. Last week followed the playbook perfect.
So you think everybody's where they're supposed to be right now for this NFL divisional weekend?
I think that this weekend is exactly like it's supposed to be now. I see some twists and turns in this weekend that I didn't see last weekend.
Right.
I think this weekend is going to be a lot different than last weekend was. Last weekend went textbook, and this weekend I think you're going to see some curveballs thrown
I
in there.
mean, I have a feeling that the refs are going to make the game decision.
The Zebras?
Because of that controversial game that just happened with the Bengals.
So you think you're going to see the...
So I have a feeling they're going to be
all over.
All over the
my
place.
God.
So you think we're getting ready to see some games with a lot of flags in it?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I'm not looking forward to it.
That was like
really.
the deciding factor in last year's playoffs. Are you ready for the flags, Andrew?
Dude, you don't need to slow the game down anymore. Just
I
no
agree.
flags.
I agree. Keep the flags in your pocket for a while. You know what I mean? Unless it's flagrant, unless it's something serious, hold on to the flags, please, and let us watch football.
It's like what Donald Trump said, football's getting weak.
Oh, that was awesome. Well, we appreciate everybody listening to the Sports Guru Show. Once y'all give us a call at 985-643-1560. Baby doll, you're going to rock the Smoke Green for them. Take us to a couple commercials. We're going to see y'all on the other side of the hour.
Now money ain't a problem. See, my dope is black.
Contact Preston Hayden for the best available deals. Call 504-593-4975. That's 504-593-4975. Take flight with Preston, an official Pelicans ticket representative.
Thank you for listening to Sports Guru Show. We are here to get you ready for Super Bowl.
What up? Call your friends and tell them it's going down now. It's going down. You understand that?
Hey, man. You looking for something? Yeah, I could use a light. Sure, man. No problem. You looking to have a good time? Anything but that Bourbon Street bustle. Well, step on into my place. You'll fit right in. Looking for a French Quarter experience without the hassles of Bourbon Street? Yeah. Step into Sneaky Pete's, the world-famous establishment and French Quarter staple for stiff drinks and good times. I heard that. Come get to know Big Charles. That boy. Be a satisfied customer and a regular for sure. A regular what? Join the Ultimate Groom Support Group and become one of Tracy's biggest fans. I'm sure you will. You got any of that special sauce, Q? Come watch the Saints and LSU with VIP Vic Saturdays and Sundays on some great TVs with cold beer and kickbacks and shots. And bring your sister. Make Sneaky Pete your French Quarter downtown home. Or headquarters. Pack your lunch. You may be here a while. Oh, Lord. That's Sneaky Pete's 135 Charters in the French Quarter, just off Canal. That's pretty close. 24 hours, 7 days a week. 364 days a year. Wow. Thanks, Pete. I'll do that for sure. Sure, pal. Another satisfied customer.
Hey Saints fans, now you can represent your favorite superfan, Dat Fireman, with an exclusive Dat Fireman t-shirt located at the Who Dat shop of Slidell at 311 Robert Street. Visit datfireman.com for more info. And remember, that's datfireman.com with a D-A-T.
A portion of the proceeds from the sale of each shirt will go to families of police officers and firefighters killed in the line of duty.
Turn around and place your hand behind your back, please. Touch your head, please.
Wait. If you'd like to, go ahead and grab a quote.
No. Time is it? What? It's 2 in the morning. Hello?
Can you come get me?
Hello?
Can you come get me?
Are you serious? Now?
In the unfortunate event of an arrest,
contact Chris Roberts Bail Bonds, who
you know who to call. They got a long family tradition of service.
with a pedigree that guarantees a timely release.
the experienced and expertly trained staff will open the doors to freedom.
I'm glad to know about
All right. I'll do it. I'll
Call 504-273-0542.
Contact Chris Roberts Bail Bonds at yahoo.com.
A trusted name in bail bonding.
This is Baby Doll, and you're listening to WSLA 1560 AM, home of the Sports Guru Show. Okay. Do you want the best seats in the net?